بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفثه. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم ارزقنا الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى واجعلنا من عبادك الصادقين واجعلنا من ورثة جنة النعيم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم آمين. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله. بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة فكشف الله به الغمة فجزاه الله عنا خير ما جازى نبيا عن أمته وداعيا عن دعوته. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله. اللهم آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I have been tested with a very sensitive sense of hearing, so there's too much noise for me to speak. I don't know how I'm going to speak with that much noise. So we're either having a babysitting session or listen. I'm sorry. The other thing, with the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, at least if the men would like to come closer, you are already in the back and already لعل الله سبحانه وتعالى ينفعنا إن شاء الله. Thank you so much. May Allah bless you for answering the invitation. When I am about to give a lecture, I try my best not to give a lecture, because lectures don't change people. I am looking to be transformed. I'm looking to be transcended to a higher level. I'm looking to get elevated. And I wish we were able to do this in a different way. The natural way that the Prophet ﷺ taught his people was through companionship. You make an exercise, bring Sahih al-Bukhari, open pages, just go through the pages. And if you take the chain of narrators who narrated the hadith and what is written after the hadith is done, you end up most of the hadith are 1 or 2 lines. So you hold your phone, whatever phone you have, you do a stopwatch. You said, I'm going to see how long this hadith takes in real life. So you click on, it's all zeros, and then you click on start. And then you read the hadith. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. Click. So we can do an exercise right now. Do you have your phones? Would you like to go to the stopwatch? Would you like to click on, I'm going to tell you click, and then I will speak, and then I will say click, and you stop. So you're ready with this example? Right. 1, 2, 3. Click. لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. Click. How long? 7 seconds. 7 seconds. This is how long were the lectures of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So, in a sense, I sincerely, especially Ramadan is coming, and it's the month of acting, not the month of talking. What happened in the story of Maryam radiallahu anha wa ardaha wa alayhi salam? Allah told her, when you bring Isa, tell people, I have made nadhr to Ar-Rahman to have sawm, fasting. My sawm is from speaking. So actually speaking less is a virtue, is a sawm in its own right that the nations before us used to practice, and Rasulullah told us to practice. Are you ready again, or you hid your phones? Because we're about to measure another hadith. Right. 1, 2, 3, click. من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليقل خيرا أو ليصمت. Click. How long? 7.73 seconds. Aywa sister, how long? 7.58. MashaAllah, your hands are very fast. MashaAllah, you're faint. Allahu Akbar. Another 7 seconds. Fine. None of you, whosoever, let him or her, whosoever believe in Allah and on the last day, say something good or remain silent. 7 seconds. Those 7 seconds that are said in 7 seconds, in reality, will take you 70 years to practice and perfect. But, so we can talk and talk and talk, and mashallah, he's an interesting speaker, an amazing speaker, a great speaker, a Spanish. At the end, we became almost like in the entertainment business. We're entertainers, not changers. We're not transformers, but entertainers. Wallahi, mashallah. From a personal experience, I have learned the most in my life from the most boring teachers. That's who you learn the most. The one who's not like a very good speaker. Today, when people want to come and make me feel good, they're trying to compliment, they want to express their gratitude. Ma fi bas, no problem. They say, Wallahi, ya Shaykh, you are an amazing speaker. I just imagine if someone went to the Sahaba of Rasulullah, one of them, and said, Wallahi, akhi, you are a good speaker. Will be an insult, just so that you know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam regarding the hypocrites, you would love the way they look, and you would love the way they speak. تعجبك أجسادهم كأنهم خشب مسندة. You like the way they look. Their value is as good as plies and plates of wood laying next to each other. So today we became in the entertainment business. The better you look, the more people will come to your speeches, the more entertaining and good speaker. We don't want to be good speakers. We want to be good doers. We want to be good actors. Enough talking. We've been talking since the last 100 years. Has our state changed to better? Inshallah. But what's obvious to the eyes is the state of the Muslim Ummah got worse. So we want to stop talking. So in a sense, how long would it take you to love for your brother or sister what you love for yourself? 70 years, in my judgment. Very difficult. How long would it take you to say something good or remain silent? Very difficult. So the question that I ask myself is, we're getting here, we are the guests of Allah in the house of Allah, hosted by Allah. And Allah is Arhamur Rahimeen, most merciful. But I want you to get something straight before the month of Ramadan, so that inshallah your heart is clear and clean and pure and ready to receive some change. And that is There's a simple equation that says this: knowledge is transformed and learned from people. Guidance only comes from Allah. Today, it's like, you know how sometimes people tell you, how much money do you have? If you have 1 million, you're worth 1 million. If you have 100,000, you're worth 100,000. If you have nothing, you're worth nothing. Also, in the world of speakers, tell me who's your sheikh, and I'll tell you who you are. Not every student is like his sheikh, and as good as his sheikh, right? So today it became also about the sheikh and about the teacher. We always have to have teachers, because Allah sent prophets and messengers to teach people. But Allah left a book so that when the messenger goes, the system stays. So the system produced Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Uthman ibn Affan, and Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu anhum wa ardahum ajma'in fi dunya wal akhirah, inshallah. So teachers and ustads comes and goes, but the system stays, and the system is the book of Allah and the example of His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when you go to a lecture in Ramadan or after Ramadan or before Ramadan, just make sure one thing is clear: Hidayah only comes from Allah. If you only pray fard and you pray 17 rak'ah between Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib and Isha, you're asking Allah 17 times, guide us to the straight path. Mufassirin had a very nice point. They said, you are praying, Ya Allah, guide us, guide us, guide us. Ameen. Ameen. Allah said, okay, your dua is answered. How? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alif lam mim dhalika al-kitabu la rayba fi. All the way to min al-jinnati wal nas. You want hidayah? You said ihdina, right? You want hidayah. Tafaddal. Here is the hidayah. But this hidayah has a prerequisite. The Quran is not hidayah for anyone and everyone. And I'm not saying Muslim versus non-Muslim. The Quran is a hidayah, hudan lil muttaqeen. There is something that you have to have before the Quran becomes your hidayah. What is that? You show Allah that this book, I will make this book the way I think, the way I make decisions. I will make it by the book. Yani, is it possible that the Jews and Christians are better than the Muslims? Yani, Allah calls the Jews and Christians the people of the book. Allah called them, not me. Allah said that. Ya Ahl al-Kitab. Because they live by the Kitab. Is it possible that the Ahl al-Kitab live by the Kitab and Ahlul Quran don't live by the Quran? And is it possible? Are we less or more? You understand? So the question here is, the juice of Ramadan, when you squeeze Ramadan and you get the juice out, the juice is hidayah. This is the juice. Yani turning Islam from theory to practice. We think to be a good Muslim is to describe how beautiful Islam is. To be a good Muslim is to live the beauty of Islam and to become beautiful yourself. Not to talk how beautiful Islam and you are ugly. No, you talk how beautiful Islam and you are beautiful. So the point, Allah said, I want you to fast so that you gain taqwa. Why? Because fasting makes you practice Islam, not talk about it. Is there anything to talk about? There's no talking in fasting. And by the way, there is no show off with fasting. Yani, when you are praying, Allah, everybody can see you are praying. I can see you are praying. Everybody, 5 years old can see you are praying. When you are giving charity, if you fill up the check or raise your, everybody can see. When you go to Hajj, people can see you going to Hajj. When you are fasting, how am I going to tell? I'll tell you, when we were kids, we used to say, are you fasting? Say, stick out your tongue. So this is what we used to do in elementary school. 6 years old, wallahi, we're fasting. Kadhab, stick out your tongue. So we will stick out the tongue. If the tongue, has that white saliva and dry, he's fasting. If the tongue has traces of chocolate and biscuits on it, you're not fasting, right? How can you tell someone is fasting? You can't. You can't. And that's why fasting, there's no talking in fasting. There is no show-off in fasting. Fasting is show-off proof. There is only doing. Once you turn Islam from talking to doing, you are now practicing taqwa. Taqwa is the prerequisite for the Quran to be your guidance. Taqwa is what is needed and required from you so that Quran becomes your guidance. Yani, there's two parts. There is your part and Allah's part. Your part is to turn Islam into action. That's the first level that you have. This is called taqwa, and it's, by the way, also called hidayah in the Quran. You do this part of hidayah, Allah will give you another part of hidayah. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَالَّذِينَ اهْتَدَوْا زَادَهُمْ هُدًى. Allah says, whosoever is guided, he chooses guidance and practices it, Allah increases his guidance. So there's two types of guidance. Practical guidance from your side, and there is guidance given from Allah to you. If you do the first part, that first part is also called taqwa. Taqwa means what? Islam in practice, not Islam in talking. Islam in practice. Why am I focusing on these two words? Because Allah focused on them. Because in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat 283, 284, 285. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. Fasting prescribed to you like it was prescribed to those who were before you, so that you may gain taqwa. Because you can talk. Ramadan comes and tells you, stop talking and start fasting. Shh. There's no talk. There's no show-off. There is no... You understand? Once you get into the practical part, Allah said, Shahru Ramadana. Why you need taqwa? There is a reason why you need taqwa. Shahru Ramadana alladhi unzila fihi al-Qur'anu hudan lin-nas wa bayyinatin min al-huda wal-furqan. In order to get the huda of the Quran, you need what? Taqwa. So that's why, brothers and sisters, when you're sitting down here, I don't know what's going in your head, because I don't know, because only Allah knows what's going in your head, and only Allah knows what's going in my head. But if you really are concerned, and you really want to grow, and you really care about this whole Islam, and becoming a Muslim, and elevating in the eyes of Allah, if this is of any concern to you, there are certain things that you really first comes first. أولى لك فأولى ثم أولى لك فأولى. There's first comes first. And first, you have to make sure certain things are there. Allah said, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. طب يا Allah, can you please, Ya Allah, explain to us who are al-muttaqin? Allah says, oh, of course, no problem. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. أولئك على هدى. We are back to where ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى. 5 ayat close circle. خلاص beginning end beginning. هدى taqwa, salah, zakah, iman, bil-ghayb, back to huda. Full circle in 5 ayats. Summary. Ya Allah, but we want more details. Oh, you want more details? Read Surah Al-Baqarah. The 5 pillars of Islam explanation is in Surah Al-Baqarah. The 6 articles of Iman explanation is in Surah Al-Baqarah. The stories of the prophets and messengers in Surah Al-Baqarah is very rightly located in the beginning of the recited Quran for someone who's coming to Islam. Can you please guys tell me what to read Surah Al-Baqarah? Read Surah Al-Baqarah. Learn it from the word of Allah subhanahu. You want to know what Islam is? Let's read Surah Al-Baqarah. That's it. We'll tell you, give you an overview of the entire Quran. But then the rest of the Quran is details of what's mentioned in Surah Al-Fatiha and in Surah Al-Baqarah. So, When you go to a lecture, you have to have your niyyah straight and right. And that is as such. I am, Ya Allah, putting the effort. I'm doing my taqwa part by going to learn knowledge. Where am I going to learn knowledge? From the trees or from the stars? I have to learn it from human beings like me. That's why Allah sent a bashar to bashar. A human, insan to insan. If there is malaika, Allah will send malaika. As Allah said in the Quran. So knowledge and example comes from human beings, but not guidance. Only Allah can guide you. Question. Forget all the teachers on the planets and all the mashayikh that you are attached to and you love and you think you cannot do without. How about if I tell you, how about if your teacher is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself? Does it get any better than that? It doesn't get any better than that. What did Allah Azza wa Jal tell Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? إِنَّكَ لَا تَهْدِي مَنْ أَحْبَبْتَ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. You don't guide whosoever you please, but Allah guides whosoever He wants to as-sirat al-mustaqim. But this word, whosoever He wants, you have to know Allah Jalla Jalaluhu is not moody. Allah is not like, oh Allah, he looks good, handsome, yalla, we will guide him. Go to Jannah. Oh, she looks, no, khalas, she's not guided, go to Astaghfirullah al-Azim. Allah is not moody. Allah وَمَا اللَّهُ بِظَلَّامٍ لِلْعَبِيدِ. Allah is not oppressor. Allah guides you. There's only one requirement, just one requirement, that you really are seeking guidance. Or you are really seeking the truth. If you're really seeking the truth, let me tell you what's going on today. Some people are seeking what they were born and raised with. If they were born and raised within a certain understanding of Islam, that's what they are seeking. They never spent 5 minutes saying, Ya Allah, if whatever I have been raised with, there's something wrong with it, please liberate me from that. Ya Allah, I want you. I'm not worshipping my mom and dad. I'm not worshipping my Shaykh and Ustad. I'm worshipping you, Ya Allah. You sent me my mom and dad, thank you, Ya Allah. You sent me my Shaykh, thank you, Ya Allah. But they're not the end, they're not the goal. They are the means. So there are some people who are really want the truth. They want the bottom line. Some people, they look at speakers. Listen, 5 minutes. Which one matches my hawa and nafs? Which one makes me feel good? And ya salam, cloud 9, above the cloud, and he makes me feel forgiven, and I'm going to Jannah without doing anything. And designing a deen for me. That's the Shaykh I want. I will listen to that Shaykh. You understand? They are seeking what is in their head. Are you like that? Answer yourself, don't answer me. Imam al-Ghazali rahmatullah alayhi, when he went to the Shaykh that transformed his life, he said, I want to learn tasawwuf. He said, so teach me. He looked at him and he smiled. He said, there is nothing to teach. What do you want me to teach you? There's no knowledge. There's no theoretical knowledge. He said, but I came to learn, like I'm ready. That I've mastered every knowledge there is and debated the masters of that knowledge and defeated them. He said, good for you, mashallah. Teach me. There's nothing to teach. Where do I start? He said, you've been alim, ma'loom, mashhoor, ma'roof, everybody knows you, everybody respects you. When you sought knowledge, and you debated, and you won, and you taught, and you got the fame, did you do that for the sake of Allah? Because that's where everything starts. Were you seeking Allah, or were you seeking someone else or something else? Imam al-Ghazali said, who told you I want to know the answer? Who told you I'm even interested in the answer? This is between you and Allah. Why are you talking to me? So Imam al-Ghazali sat down and thought, I really don't have a clear answer to that question. So he went and disappeared for 10 years to find the answer to that question. He said, I want to see, if nobody respects me, and if I'm cleaning the bathrooms of the masjid and putting the shoes in its place, would I still be excited about Islam? Or am I so much used to Maulana, Shaykhuna, Alimuna, Imam? It becomes addictive. It ruins people from inside. So he wanted to see, am I doing? So he disappeared for 10 years, just cleaning the masjid and doing this and doing that and being with Allah and serving poor people and changing his look so that nobody knows he's Imam al-Ghazali. After 10 years, he realized, okay, alhamdulillah, I'm doing it for the sake of Allah. And that's Imam al-Ghazali. But you, some of us, we grew up with an idea. I don't know what's the idea. Male chauvinism. The man should be the man. The man is the man is that. وخلاص. They go to the Quran, they go to the Sunnah to prove that Islam, there's no place for women and it's all. Yeah. Okay, so is that what you're seeking? That's what you're going to get. Did you ever sit down and say, Ya Allah, guide me to the truth? I don't want to follow a lie. I don't want to follow myself. Some people get sold on all the ideas of feminism. They become feminists, whatever that means. Because feminists are not one thing. They don't know what I'm calling feminism. Whatever the Sheikh says, they're scanning. I trace. There's up. You see? He said female. See? He said female. He didn't say woman. They're making us like animals. Allah said in the Quran, وَأَنَّهُ خَلَقَ الزَّوْجَيْنِ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنْثَى. It is He who created the pair, the male and female. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا تَجَلَّى وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنْثَى إِنَّ سَعْيَكُمْ لَشَتَّى. Allah said male and female. What's so offensive? La 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 la. So now what's the Quran is offensive? Let's go back and change the Quran so that your feminist theory can be happy. What filter do you have? What filter is on your eyes? Wallahi, this Shaykh is born and raised in America. That Shaykh is born and raised like me in Libya or in Palestine or God knows Syria. He doesn't know, he's not an American Shaykh. But now you put another filter. Why? So when the Muhajirin went to Medina, the Ansar told them, please park here aside. You don't know Medina and the reality of Medina. We're going to be the leaders, you follow us. Because you don't know Medina. And actually they didn't. But in short time they learned that. What's the problem? Or the other, the reverse discrimination. Oh, he's just a convert. Like a convert. What filter are you using? Now we want to have a, I don't know. We want to have local scholars. طب يا أخي, what happened to the scholars in the Middle East and in the Far East and in the Far South and in the Far North? If there is someone who's a scholar and Allah gave him knowledge and he's heavyweight scholar, does it matter where he's from? Does it matter if he knows how to speak English or not? Does it matter if he speaks English with accent or not? What filter do we have? So today, the speaker comes and delivers the speech. Whatever is in his head is in his head. He prepared speech. And the listener is coming to listen, and whatever is in his head, in his head. And like we say, the whole thing, the whole truth is lost. So you want to just spend 5 minutes. Ya Allah, I'm seeking you, not anyone else. I'm seeking the truth. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want to be misled. Ya Allah, if my path is not on the straight path and on the truth, enlighten me, save me, rescue me. Ya Allah, if I am on the straight path, then even enlighten me more and show me so that I don't go astray. You are a truth seeker. Allah made you. Allah called this Deen al-Haq, called the book al-Haq, and called himself al-Haq. Do you know anyone who's seeking the truth? Whether born Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist, anyone who seeks the truth is actually seeking Allah, because the only truth out there is Allah. Or maybe you're coming to the masjid to listen to a lecture and be entertained, but you have no interest in applying that lecture. Right? So that's why, brothers and sisters, may Allah, I want you to set your intention right in the beginning, before Ramadan, that Allah will make you truth seeker, and Allah will guide you if He looks in your heart and see you want to be guided to the truth, not want to be guided to whatever is in your head. and you whatever filters there are until you can't see anymore. So I just want the truth. Very simple. Is there anything wrong with that? I just want the truth. And Allah can guide you to the truth. And Allah will show you the truth. Insha'Allah Rabbil Alameen. Coming to the month of Ramadan, again, is when you take 2 steps back. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, give an example of the Islam like a house. Imagine this is a house, right? Can you build a house without foundation? So there has to be a foundation. So you put the house on the foundation. Someone come and build a house, no foundation, what's going to happen? It will collapse. What's the foundation of this deen? This whole deen is established on what? Who can think with me? Let's think a little bit. Do you see around us here? Do you see this? Do you see this? What do we call this? Pillars. Is pillars foundation? But what is the foundation? Like Iman in what? Yeah? What is the foundation? La ilaha illallah. Why did Allah send all the prophets and messengers to tell people what? La ilaha illallah. Allah, this is La ilaha illallah. People think it's a dry, void, hollow statement. What do you want me to say? Say La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Am I done? Okay, now I can go home and live my life? La, hold on. Hold on. La ilaha illallah is we need years and years to explain what La ilaha illallah means. First of all, do you know what's the meaning of the word ilah? Do you know what's the meaning of saying there is no ilah? And why do we say no ilah first and then illallah second? How come? If up to me and my human logic, I would say we should say illallah because Allah comes first. And then la ilaha. Why la ilaha first? There is no God, no deity. Why this liberation and freedom and cleansing and purification before illallah? And even when Allah explained that in the ayah after ayat al-kursi, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Next ayah, la ikraha fi ad-din, qad tabayyana ar-rushd min al-ghayy, faman yakfur bit-taghut wa yu'min billah. Again, Allah says there is negation first and then confirmation. First, you have to know in your life, you have to look at yourself from outside. Get outside you and look, who's my ilah? Allah. But then hold on, what's the meaning of the word ilah? Who do you love the most? Who's the one that you're not willing to upset at all? Who's the one that you're willing to follow no matter what? Who's the one that you were willing to obey at all costs and under all circumstances? Who's your highest model? Who's the one that you're willing to spend any amount of money for his sake and in his name and maybe to attend his concert or watch his game, and you're willing to pay $2,000 just to sit in the first seat on the first floor next to the... Who's the one that you're willing to... the word ilah, one of the meanings of the word ilah, linguistically, is the one that you have wala in. Do you know what wala? Wala is something that... anything that causes you... that's called wala. I want to be like that. I love that. I want to embrace that. I'll do anything for that. I will pay anything for that. You see that? That's called wala in Arabic. Ilah, the one that I will never upset. Oh my God, I love him so much, I'll never upset him. I'm not willing to upset. It's like, your favorite God knows what singer or movie star or something. Imagine they come and say, I want you to drive me home to, oh my God, I will never upset him. Oh my God, I will do whatever you ask me to do. Right? This is called ilah. That with love and devotion, you're willing to do whatever they ask you to do. That's called ilah. So when you say la ilaha, it's not just like anything. La ilaha is you have to sit down and ask yourself, who's my ilah? Even parents, Allah told you, if they want to become your ilah and clash with your ilah, you say, parents, I will not obey you in that, but I will respect you and I will befriend you, because you are not my ilah, you are my parents. You have two parents, but you have one God. So what is ilah? Who do you love the most? Who are you willing to spend the money to the most? Who are you willing to do anything? Yani, have you ever watched people who love an artist so much, let's say a singer? Have you seen them when they are in the state of khushu'? And they're like they're screaming. Qasaman billah, when I watch that, wallahi, I embarrass myself. I am embarrassed. You know why? Because I look at that and I say, am I like that with Allah? Do they have more devotion and khushu' in their listening to their batil, to their falsehood, as much as when I listen to the Quran, like I'm crying my eyes out. I'm in the state of like, wala, this is wala, this is ilah. They're screaming, and oh my God, if he touches them, you know, he will bless them by sometimes getting close to the stage and like just sprinkling some of his blessing on these poor souls. Right? And when he touches them, they faint. And they have to transport them back to the emergency. And the ambulance is waiting because there's so many people in khushu' that they will faint during khushu'. This is called khushu'. You want to know what khushu' is? This is khushu'. This is the human in the state. And interestingly, you think they will be laughing. Actually, when they hear it and they go and they scream in this, they're all crying. Watch the show. Watch the show. They're crying. Just like you're supposed to cry when you hear the Quran in Salah, they're crying. It's interesting, they're not laughing. Huh? That's the state of khushu'. You want to know what khushu' is. And they're They're all devotees. This is called wala. And what they have, their singer, what picture? Poster is in the room. They wake up with it. Good morning. They go to sleep. They look at it. I love you. What is that? That's wala. That's ilah. But you're thinking, no. Hold on, Shaykh. Why you are so extreme? La ilaha illallah. La. When you show me that you will scream and cry like that when the Quran is recited, like you will scream and cry and faint, then khalas, I will buy it from you. And oh my God, if he blessed you with a, what they call that? Autograph. Yeah, habibi. You put it inside the book and you sleep on that book. Hubb, wala. The highest level of hubb is wala, and khalas. You know, when it's very important. That's why Abdullah ibn Abbas taught Layali al-Arab and used to teach about Majnoon Layla. And people were like, why Ibn Abbas you are teaching about Majnoon Layla? Qais and Majnoon Layla. The one who fell in love with Layla until he became Majnoon and started walking like Majnoon, like a crazy person. Because he wanted to teach them, you want to know what love is? That's love. So Abdullah ibn Abbas used to teach people about what love is before Islam. And then he told them, this is how we feel towards Allah. You understand? So what's the foundation? La ilaha illallah. So you're sitting down. I witnessed this with my own eyes. So please, I'm really not exaggerating. I'm witnessing a group of teenagers saying. So they're talking, and then someone says, Justin Bieber. Immediately, the state of khushu' hits them. Wallahi, they put their hand on their heart. I saw that with my own eyes. And the other people will make fun of them. Or what's the other, Justin Timberlake or something? Huh? Is that right? Right? Yeah. Or what's the other guy? I forgot the names, but that's fine. Right? Remember Michael Jackson when he used to do concert where people used to die like in the concert because they're in the state of khushu. The hal hit them. They are in hal right now with their beloved. You say the name of the singer that they love, and like, oh my God, that's my favorite singer. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. La la la. Leave God alone, please. Don't say oh my God. Say oh my Justin Bieber. You understand? What did Allah say? إنما المؤمنون الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. The believers are those that when Allah is mentioned, their hearts shakes and shivers. You said Allah? You're talking about Allah, right? So when you say La ilaha illallah, when a human falls in love with a human, he goes in hysteria. Imagine when the human falls in love with the divine, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yani, it's easier said than done. La ilaha illallah. All of your hopes are in one hope, and that's in Allah. La ilaha illallah. All of your fears are in one fear, and that's La ilaha illallah. Brothers and sisters, what happens when you fall in love? Yani from the old to the young, we all went through it, right? Subhanallah. Just so that you know, yani, this is real. One of the side effects of love, beside the butterfly, it's in your stomach and your cheeks turn red when they mention the one you love. And when you really, really, really lost in love, you lose your appetite. Khalas. You can't eat anything. When you fall in hate and in depression, you start eating. You take a bucket of ice cream, you start shoving it down your throat, right? Why? Because what? You're in a state of what? But when you're in a state of love, you're floating. There is no need for food. You're eating and drinking love. You know what's the best diet? Fall in love. Huh? You will lose your appetite. What's the side effect of falling in love? Side effects of falling in love is you lose sleep at night. Is she thinking about it? Is he thinking about it? They write you a letter, right? You look at the letter at night. No. I'm sorry, I'm from the old generation when we used to write letters. They write you a text message, right? They don't even have the decency to write words. R-U-K. The OK needs abbreviation. But it's 2 letters. Leave it alone. R-U-K. At least long time ago. I pray to Allah that you are in a good state. Allah, nobody has time wasting time. Let's forget it. No, I am Y, I'm not K. Subhanallah. You receive a letter, and you start reading it. What did she mean by this word? And you're losing sleep. In a different world, and your heart feels, light. You feel literally, you're like floating. Something is going on, right? Subhanaka ya Rabb. Wallahi, after understanding this, by Allah, it explained something to me, because I know there is nothing in Islam that is nonsense. There is no nonsense in Islam. And I keep on reading the seer of Sahaba, Ridwanullahi alayhim wa ardahum. They pray all night, they fast in the day. Wallahi, there is something not clicking. When a human can pray most of the night and stay awake and lose his appetite in the day. They were in love with Allah, ya akhi. That explained it to me, because a non-Muslim can do that. A non-Muslim can do that. A non-Muslim, when he falls in love, he doesn't sleep all night and he doesn't eat all day. Forget Islam, religion altogether. So it actually makes sense. And then what are they doing at night? The letter that comes to them from Allah. What did Allah mean by that? They do tadabbur. Yani it's a fancy word, yani Quranic fancy, because Quran is heavy, yani fancy word. They do tafakkur. They look at the stars. Yani, subhanallah, when someone today, you know, they love you, they bring the stars, you put it in the room. I wonder who we are imitating here. I'm just wondering. SubhanAllah, you look at the stars and you say, Allah says, I created this just so that you know, one of the reasons, not the only reason, is for you to look and smile. Decoration. Decoration. وَلَقَدْ زَيَّنَّا السَّمَاءَ الدُّنْيَا بِمَصَابِيحَ وَجَعَلْنَاهَا رُجُومًا لِلشَّيَاطِينِ. I have decorated the sky of this world with lanterns. Yani, ya salam, Allah put for you lanterns in the room. You start looking at the lanterns. You start reading the letter and say, it's explainable. It's not nonsense. It's full of sense. Because if you are in that hal, you will do that. And when that Habib or Mahbub is asking you to do something, oh my God. You know, today, even in the modern world, yani on Valentine's Day, you want to show your real love. You don't send a rose or 12. You send like an order. You fill the whole house with flowers. Whole house with flowers. You're making a statement. You're making a statement. And out of the blue, yani, sometimes just to show, not only on Valentine, you just bring one rose. One rose. You don't have to bring the dozen. One rose. And the person will feel, oh my God, you thought about me? Oh my God, that's how much you love me? Yani, I have a question. How many roses and flowers does Allah have to create for you to fall in love with Him? How many? How many shapes and colors and smells and textures of roses and flowers and what's called the other one? Arcade? No, not arcade. Orchids. Arcade is what we used to play when we were kids. Atari, you know. Orchids. Phenomenon orchids. Flowers, roses, yellow and red and all. How many does Allah have to create for you to get it and to fall in love? Yani when are you going to wake up? So, brothers and sisters, when you say La ilaha illallah, the foundation of this faith, yani, what happens in Ramadan? We say, Ya Allah, yani, we're so much in love. Khalas, yani, you feel even embarrassed that Allah said in the Quran, you have to fast. You see, you should say, Ya Allah, I will fast without you saying I have to fast. You know, if they ask you, I need a ride, oh my God, you will leave work and you will run and give them a ride. So when Allah says, listen to me, you say, oh, Ya Allah, I love you so much, I will listen to you. I will listen to your messenger because I love you so much. It's natural, it's organic. People do that in their daily life. Allah is not talking about something like incomprehensible, ununderstandable. La, 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 la. People do that every day. People do ibadah to each other every day. But when Allah asks for it, well, I don't know, Ya Shaykh, I'm a weak believer. You chose to be a weak believer, but if you choose Allah, and you choose the truth, and you make that your center, and you give Allah the attention, and you say, Ya Allah, I will not seek guidance from anyone other than you. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Ya Allah, you are the only one who can guide. Why? Because, Ya Allah, you scan my heart, and you see if I want guidance, you will give it to me. If you don't want guidance, Allah will not impose Himself on you. Take that clear in your head. Allah will not force Himself. Allah is not needy of attention. You are the one who's needy of attention. You are the child who's crying for the attention of his parent. Allah is not needy of attention. We have given Luqman the wisdom. Allah says in Surah Luqman, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا لُقْمَانَ الْحِكْمَةَ أَنِ اشْكُرْ لِلَّهِ. Be thankful to Allah. وَمَنْ يَشْكُرْ فَإِنَّمَا يَشْكُرُ لِنَفْسِهِ. Whosoever is thankful to Allah is only thankful to himself. وَمَنْ كَفَرَ. And whosoever is not thankful to Allah, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَنِيٌّ حَمِيدٌ. Allah is self-praising, self-sufficient, doesn't need you. You are the one who's in need. So, So that's why, brothers and sisters, to me, the whole journey of faith is very natural. I look around me, wallahi, sometimes you live in an environment and the people around you mislead you because they're listening to this music and this. Wallahi, I just observe them. And their devotion to that teaches me my devotion to the truth. I see the person having the thing and they are in hal. Wallahi al-Azim, I look at myself, I say, shame on me. Shame on me. When I hear La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha. Am I in that? The guy in the street can have more hal with his singer than I can have hal with Allah. Immediately it creates a jealousy inside me. I don't want to become like him exactly. I want to steal that from him and I want to apply it to Allah Azza wa Jal. May Allah guide him. It's not my job. I make dua for him. Thank you for teaching me devotion and love and khushu'. They sing a song, they're singing about God knows what they're saying about the one they love and this and that. He in his hal, he can say, I believe I can fly. I believe I can reach the sky. Right? He can say that, but I don't feel that. Why? I cannot live without you. I can't imagine my life without you. Ya salam. He cannot imagine his life without her, but I can imagine my life without Allah. That's why if you have the ears of the believers, the eyes of the believers, even when you see dalal, it leads you to Allah. You take that and you apply it for Allah Azza wa Jal. You apply it for your deen, for your love to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for your love to the salihin. Our deen is a natural, organic way. If you start the right way, if you start with La ilaha illallah, if you start with, things has to become natural. La ikraha fi deen. It's not compulsion. So what is it that I need? Oh, I need that love. Okay, that love will bloom and it will give me obedience, it will give me devotion, it will give me dedication, it will give me khushu', it will give me, because there is love. But when I don't even care about the truth, nor I care about this, I'm just stuck in my own ideas where I was born and how I was raised and which shaykh I love and which shaykh I don't love, and there's a million filters, million clouds in my head, and Allah is not one, is a part of the equation. Allah will look at your heart, as the Prophet ﷺ said, I don't accept partners. Whosoever does an action and he puts for me a partner in that action, I am the richest of the two partners. I leave my portion to the other one and I leave. I'm not going to split your love. If you do something for my sake and the sake of someone else, I am the richest of the two, so I leave my portion to the other one and I leave. I'm not in your heart. I don't want that. So why? So when you look at Ramadan is the month of love. We lose sleep at night. We lose appetite in the day. And we become pale and yellow from the love. And we start losing weight because we are in love with Allah Azza wa Jal. And we are ready to obey Allah and love Allah and listen to Allah and do whatever Allah says. No questions, I just wish it. Your wishes are my commands. لبيك وسعديك يا رسول الله. They used to say, whatever makes you happy, I shall answer. What do you want, Ya Rasulullah? What do you want, Ya Allah, from me? What do you want? لبيك. And people go to Hajj and they say, لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك وسعديك والخير كله بين يديك. يعني, what I invite you in this small lecture, previous lecture, is to start things organically, naturally, يعني, without fakeness and without, oh, I don't understand Islam. لا والله يا أخي, you understand Islam more than you think you do. But it's complicated. لا والله, it's not complicated. It's very natural. It starts with love. The love turns into devotion, dedication, listening, wanting, desiring. You desire Allah, you want Allah, you love Allah. And khalas, whatever Allah says, okay, حاضر, I'll do it. And then Allah says, whatever I'm telling you is for your benefit. Thank you, Ya Allah. More reason to believe. But brothers and sisters, to fall in love with Allah and with His Messenger, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is not a rocket science. One that every heartbeat of yours is in His hands, and He's making your heart beat. Maybe He will remember. Maybe He will wake up. This is what your heartbeats are telling you. Did you wake up? Did you remember? And every heartbeat is 2 beats. 2 beats. One is telling you you're still alive, and the other one is telling you death is near. Life, death, life, death, life, death, life, death. And it's giving you a beat. دقات قلب المرء قائلة له إن الحياة دقائق وثواني. Your heartbeats are telling you life is nothing but few seconds. So, with your heartbeat, are you synchronizing yourself? So that's why, brothers and sisters, I see people practicing Islam and being role models right and left. If you ever wonder what khushu' is, just go and watch one of these concerts. You don't have to go there, just watch them on TV, see what they do. That's how you should be in Ramadan. Allah is worthy of that. Allah, فَاللَّهُ أَحَقُّ أَن تَخْشَوْا. Allah has more right for you to give Him that than to give that to a human. When the name of Allah is mentioned, does your heart? So, if you really want Allah, desire Allah, love Allah, you start to say, Ya Allah, help me know you, help me love you, help me. And the Prophet ﷺ will, even if you say, but Ya Allah, Shaykh, I don't have that love in my, I say, make dua. The Prophet said, Allahumma rzuqna hubbak. Give us, maybe Ya Allah, I don't know, I don't feel I love you, I don't know how, you know what Allah, how about this? How about you give me your love? But for you to be hard-hearted, ثم قست قلوبكم من بعد ذلك فهي كالحجارة أو أشد قسوة, then your heart became like rocks or harder than a rock. Yeah, akhi, if you feel, my sister, my brother, if you feel your heart is hard like a rock, ask Allah, Ya Allah, soften it. Put your love in my heart. Make me feel towards you what these people feel towards their movie star and singer star, and they go hysteric and they lose them. Make me feel that. Make me, and Allah will grant you that because you want Him, but you've never asked Him. You don't even care. You don't even ask. You're like, okay, what do you want me to pray here? Allahu Akbar. Salaam alaikum, salaam alaikum. Are we done? Okay, now I can go with my life. People pray like that. Bothered by their salah, bothered by their siyam. Sometimes I actually respect people who are honest. I really respect them. Because people who are honest are looking to be treated. When someone calls a sheikh and say, a sheikh, I really don't see the point of siyam. I hate siyam. When someone calls the sheikh and says that, I actually appreciate that. When you go to the doctor, and the doctor, your stomach is hurting, and the doctor says, okay, so why are you here today? And you get, oh my God, I'm embarrassed. My knee is hurting. Why did you say that? Your stomach is hurting. Why you're saying your knee hurting? Now the doctor's going to go prescribe it for your knee. Medicine for your knee. The man came to the Prophet ﷺ. Our deen is not built on fakeness. You have a problem, come and say your problem. Say, I have a problem. If the Shaykh knows how to treat you, alhamdulillah. If he doesn't, he will prescribe you to another doctor. Can you imagine someone came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, Ya Rasulullah, in the masjid. And he got closer to the Prophet so that nobody can touch him. He said, Ya Rasulullah, I want to confess a sickness. I need a treatment. I love zina. The air got sucked out of the room, and everybody's like, how in the world do you dare to say that? What's wrong with you? And the Prophet said, no, leave. Come here. Do you have a mother? He said, yes, Ya Rasulullah. Do you obey her and love her? Yes, Ya Rasulullah. What if someone comes and commits zina, fornication and adultery in your mother? Ya Rasulullah. Do you have a wife? Yes, Ya Rasulullah. What if someone does that with you? I will kill him. And her. Do you have daughter? Yes. What if someone does that to your daughter? Rasulullah dealt with the problem, started healing him. Do you have a sister? Oh yes, Ya Rasulullah. By the time Rasulullah was going, he said, Ya Rasulullah, stop. I'm healed. I don't love zina anymore. I'm done. You know, he went to the Prophet, confessed his problem, didn't go and hide it. So I actually respect people. So people call me and say, yeah, Shaykh, like I'm just dying here from fasting. I say, I appreciate your honesty. Jazakallahu khairan. Wallahi, this is the first step in your way to Allah, is to confess your problems to Allah and to someone that will address. Don't go to someone who cannot help you. Go to someone who actually can help you and has some love and appreciation for you. And if you go to someone and you tell them your problem and they start looking down at, know that this is not the right Shaykh to go to. Don't know, he's not Shaykh altogether, nor Imam, nor he should be. Maybe he should be leading the Salah but not talking to people. You have a problem? Someone came to Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, great. He said, I just have to let it out. He said, what? I just don't know how to get myself to believe in Allah. Like, does Allah exist? Like, can you heal me? Can you say something? Can you, like, I believe in Allah, but like, I don't feel it. He said, what's your business? He said, I'm a businessman, trader. I said, how do you? He said, I'm a sailor. I put stuff in a ship. And he said, have you ever been caught in a storm in the middle of the sea? He said, oh, Imam, one time we started throwing our stuff from the ship so that we will survive. We threw the gold and silver just. He said, what did you do? He said, I was praying my heart. I was crying. He said, did you have hope? Like that you will be. He said, I had hope, but I was certain I will die. He said, you see that feeling of hope? See that urge? You see that throwing the stuff? You see that crying? You know what Allah is. You felt what Allah is. That is. He said, wow, I never thought of that. I've had it in me all along and I never knew that. Jazakallahu khairan. Thank you. Ya Imam. You understand? So brothers and sisters, this journey starts with looking for the weeds. La ilaha illallah. Oh, ilaha. Weed out. Oh, another ilah. Weed out. Oh, with it. Take it out. This journey starts with that. And then you have a nice fertile soil. If you need help, seek help. If you need advice, seek advice. But from someone who knows, don't go to. And by the way, Wallahi alladhi la ilaha illa hu. If you sit down and pray to Allah just 5 minutes and just like clear your mind, you will find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will answer you and will bring you someone who will answer you and will put people in your life, and you will Allah will start working miracles in your life. Things will start happening. But for you, I don't care. Okay. I don't know how to make you care. You don't care. Okay. You think I'm gonna run after you? May Allah make you care. What do you want me to say? May Allah make you care. May Allah make you fall in love. May Allah make you see. May Allah remove the veil from your eyes. That's so inshallah, let's take 2 steps back and let's look at Ramadan. Ramadan, we fall in love with Allah Azza wa Jal. We lose our appetite, we lose our sleep, we start reading His letter, fall in love. We make dhikr, we make dua, we're gone. 30 days, we're gone. The reward of that, you witness Laylatul Qadr. 2 things. Allah revealed the Quran Laylatul Qadr, and your destiny for the coming year is revealed in Laylatul Qadr. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر. From every command, فيها يفرق كل أمر حكيم. أمرا من عندنا. So you get a reward. Devotion, 30 days, you get a reward. And then, this is how I feel. This is how our life with Ramadan. You know the guy, the person who just got in a car accident or got shot, and they're in the emergency room, they're trying to revive him. You know how it's going? They're going like this. No heartbeat. And then beep. And then beep. Beep. And the doctors are trying. They're trying to revive him or her. This is our year, the whole year, where beep, Ramadan comes, beep, one, and then it goes dead again. La, that's not how that. This is our life. Our life should look like a stair. You have good level, then Ramadan comes and elevates you. You go up 100%, you come down 70%, maybe 60%, maybe you keep 50%, but you are 50% from before. You keep the 50%. Next year, Ramadan comes, elevates you. You go up, you settle down, you still gain. You keep that. It looks like stairs. Not a heartbeat of a dead person in the hospital. May Allah give us the true life. Allahumma ahyina ya Rabbal Alameen hayatan tayyiba, hayat al-iman wal-ihsan wal-tuqwa wal-afaf wal-iman. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر وجزاكم الله خيرا.